Hi there, my name is Reagan Sander, and this is my psychology and film assignment. So, the film that I'm analyzing today for the case report is Incredibles 2 by Disney and Pixar. The plot of Incredibles 2 starts with some superheroes, and at this point, they are illegal in this world that we're in. They're not allowed to show their powers, but they partner with this company called DevTech, who's run by the CEO Winston Dever and his sister Evelyn Dever. And they partner together with superheroes to try to make them legal again by giving superheroes heroic, complex events to solve. The character that I'm analyzing for this case report and the villain of Incredibles 2 is Evelyn Dever. She is really bad in this film. She is the engineer for DevTech and engineers all of their technology. She's very innovative and very intelligent, but she has a vengefulness against superheroes because her parents died from a superhero dependent event, and she associates all superheroes to be bad, and she uses her technology to manipulate others and change the narrative about superheroes so that they never become legal again. Evelyn's diagnosis for me is antisocial personality disorder, part of the dramatic erratic cluster of personality disorders. I do this because she displays a very wide range of unlawful behavior and lack of remorse for violating people's rights. A potential diagnosis by a movie therapist, though, would be paranoid personality disorder, and that is because Evelyn might not be honest with her therapist how many crimes she commits and what she does to violate other people's rights via mind control, which I'll go into soon. So that's why a movie therapist might be different, but I know of the crimes that she commits, so I think it's definitely ASPD. And the stigmas associated with these disorders in our culture may be that these individuals cannot be high functioning. While that is not the case for Evelyn, she's very outwardly charming, very intelligent, very innovative, and is very high functioning. So, is this disorder diagnosed in all cultures? Well, it is not diagnosed. I would say it is diagnosed in every culture. The definition of ASPD does not change, but the way that it's expressed through actions is different through cultures. By this paper by Rachel Cooper, she describes that the characteristics of ASPD cannot be expected to remain the same, and the expectation of behavior will be different between cultures. The definition, of course, is repeatable across space and time, but the way it's expressed will change. And this is the DSM-5 criteria that Evelyn does enact in each of these diagnoses. I think in particular ASPD, her lack of remorse, she does not conform to lawful behavior, she exploits others by deceit, and the PPD, she has intense distrust and suspiciousness of superheroes, she holds grudges, and she has childhood trauma. All of these characteristics are aligned with Evelyn's behavior. Some evidence of this diagnosis for ASPD: she's impulsive and violent, she has little emotional empathy or remorse, and she's manipulative. For example, she uses a pizza delivery guy as a ploy to cover up her actions against superheroes. She puts an ambassador at risk while she's driving in a helicopter and tries to make helicopters crash to prove a point. She controls others via mind control for her personal agenda, and she fakes events to manipulate others. She uses a superhero with mind control to change the narrative. She's suspicious of others and challenges the loyalties of friends and family. She characterizes every superhero event to be harmful, draws conclusions that superheroes will betray others, and tries to change the narrative based on her paranoia. The weakest symptom is emotionally cold and distant. That is, of course, because she is not. She's outwardly charming, outspoken, and intelligent, and she even makes a relationship with Elastigirl and treats her with kindness. She builds her an electric bike and gives advice. She's also compassionate, and she lets Elastigirl meet other superheroes who idolize her after Elastigirl goes through a difficult fight. My treatment plan for ASPD would be a court-mandated treatment. Of course, this would be involuntary and after Evelyn is convicted of her crimes. The next one is cognitive behavioral therapy. This way would be to change the way that Evelyn thinks about superheroes and recognize that she has unhealthy behavior. Three is possible medication for some symptoms of ASPD, such as mood stabilizers. And four is group therapy, potentially, if Evelyn is willing to hear about other people with ASPD and how they deal with it. The effectiveness of Evelyn's treatments plan is aligned with some psychologists who would agree. This paper used authored by many people says that ASPD is avoided by many therapists because it is so complex, but treatment can that promotes group cognitive and behavioral interventions that focus on impulsivity, interpersonal problems, and antisocial behavior can be effective, and I use all of that in my treatment plan. Some ethical concerns for the treatment plan is that there can be a possible manipulation of a therapist by Evelyn because she's manipulative, and there's a lack of individual autonomy because court-mandated appointments go against her autonomy, and that's why it's important to have a goal-centered cognitive behavior therapy for her. Some situational and cultural barriers. Evelyn's known to be apprehensive, so treatment may not be powerful for her, and also after she is arrested, superheroes may be made legal again in her culture, and she may try to overtake them and not come to terms with the fact that they are legal now. So those are some barriers. Some broader perspective questions. Does the film correctly portray ASPD? I believe that it does because of these behaviors. These behaviors do not change when it comes to the ASPD definition, and Evelyn displays all of them very accurately in the film. And then, how does the portrayal of disorders in film influence our own understanding of these disorders? Well, it gives us a visual representation of how others can be perceived and how it's bad and negative. She's very obviously a villain in this story, and that's able to communicate to people who watch this film. It has the action consequence sequence, so people see their actions have consequences. In this film specifically, Evelyn does get arrested. So people can see that this is not good behavior, especially children who watch this because it is an animation film. And then understanding and being empathetic towards backstories of virtual characters helps others be empathetic and understanding for the backstories of people in their own lives, which can be good for these disorders. These are the references that I used, and thank you for watching.